Too many soldiers were soon leaving their closest friends behind. In the 11-month drive from D-Day to Holland, the 1st Canadian Army suffered 55,000 casualties, including 11,000 dead. But they saved a large area of Northern Europe, including Holland, from cruelest tyranny. Many Dutch regularly take their children to 10 Canadian graves, like historian Paul Vroomen.
I told my children, our children, look at those people who are killed, that you are living in a free country. Look at that ages, 90 years, 18 years, 28, 29. These people came from overseas. They don't know what to do. They only have an order to fight the Germans and to beat them, and they did. And a lot of them have been killed for our liberation. And that's one of the things. When I'm walking every year around some cemeteries, and I'm thinking, thank you guys for what you did for me, my wife and my children, for my family. And that's the only thing I can do.
And so, after 6 years, the war was over, and the task of the 1st Canadian Army finished. It buried its dead, and then, without much ceremony or commotion, began to pack up, dismantle, and go home. Within weeks, it would begin to fade into history, remembered largely by the Canadian and Allied soldiers who had served with it, by the Germans who had fought so fiercely against it, and of course by the Dutch, who have not ceased in half a century to commemorate that army's fallen and to honor its memory. I'm Brian Stewart in Grosbeek, Holland, for Primetime News.
Let us remember. From London, we go now to Eastern Holland, to the town of Holten, where, like many other communities throughout the Netherlands, people have decorated the area with flags and handmade tributes to their liberators. But Holten is also the site of one of the largest Canadian war cemeteries in the Netherlands. Many people have been visiting the Holten Cemetery this week, but when all the celebrations are over, it's the Dutch volunteers who continue to tend the graves. Among them is a remarkable woman who's been tending graves since the war ended. This week, one of the families of the soldiers whose grave she takes care of has come to visit.
Oh, Annie, there's you.
Hi, hello. So,
Nice to see you.
nice to see you, my Canadian guest.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
Nice to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, you look well.
Yes, I saw.
Nice to see
See
you.
you, yes. Brian brought
Yeah, we brought a picture of Uncle Lawrence for you to see and to have. This is Uncle Lawrence, and he was 25 when he died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice boy, yeah.
He was with the company apparently 3 to 4 years, so he was one of the older in his company. And in fact, the letter that informed us of his death mentioned that he was one of the older.
I am Annie Wansing. I live in Holten. During 48 years, I look after the graves from Canadian friends. All these young men, why must they die? First I had one grave, and then my parents had a grave adopted, and my sister. My parents did not live, and from people who came to us, I adopted this grave too, and so 6, 7, 8 now.
This is Lawrence's grave.
This okay, yeah, and that is from my
Murray.
Murray, that's from my mother, she adopted, and that adopted my sister. I think it's my duty, because the Canadians give their lives for us, and they give us our freedom. And we are very grateful that we are liberated.